Hello, my name is Samantha Carter, and I'm here to discuss our assignment, which was watch the video to TEDx Talks. But first, I'm gonna summarize and kind of explain what he talked about, and then I'm gonna use my example. So therefore, he first talked about marketing and what it was. He used the examples of prices and distributing, but it could also go into stuff like demographics, psychographics, and learning about your customers. And then communications. Communication is how you get to the people, how you spread the word. The main one is person to person, and then you could also use it through social media, mailing, stationery, with like flyers and stuff. So first he discussed the 5 must-haves. So the first one is to utilize your physical location. The second one is to build and maintain a website. Third is to offer a way to speak to someone. 4 is be found by your target markets. 5 is engage customers within one community. So to utilize your physical location, you want to be able to show people where you're at. Like you could stand outside your building or your office or something and hand out flyers. Or he used the example of free samples, but that's for restaurants. And then they used an example of putting up a sign, so they could see you for a visual. And then the second is build and maintain a website. You want to have a website so anybody can access it 24/7. And then you can have all your information on there, contact numbers, menu if it's a restaurant, and just so they get a feel for where you're at. And then you can also look for the location on the website. Third was to offer a way to speak to someone. So you always want to be able to have those connections with your customers. Therefore, you want to, the main kind that you want to be able to do that with is mouth to mouth. But if that's impossible, then you should have like a landline, even though they probably don't exist anymore, or communicate by mobile phone, email, maybe Snapchat if you're like a student business or something, or like I said, telephone and stuff like that, Skype. And then the fourth one actually was to be found by your target markets. You want to be able to be found so you can have those customers and you get the business going. So you want to be found. Therefore, you want them to know where you are, and you want to find the people who you're going for. So if it's like college students for university, then the university is going to physically find and contact their ads to be put on college websites like College Board, College Live, schools, and all that stuff. And then the fifth one was engage customers within one community. And they kind of want to do that with like, you go to like one website. He used the example of Facebook, but it doesn't really have to be online. And he also used the example of how libraries have these like reading groups to their community. So they to get the children to come in so they start learning about the library and getting acquainted with it. And so that's how they got the customers to go to the library to use their kids to get books and stuff. And then the next thing he talked about was the 3 factors for setting priorities. Because with all this communications and all these different things going on, businesses kind of have to like set their priorities. So the first one was target markets. And the target market is to figure out the demographics, psychographics, and all that stuff to figure out who you want to go for. So if you're going for like a restaurant, you want to go for people who like Italian food. If it's an Italian restaurant, you want to go for like Italian food. You want to try to get people to get into Italian food or something like that. Then like you want to like zone in, like you could get like usually you could put out like different examples like business cards to get to them. And you just want to find the target that you're going for, like different age groups or something. And then the second one is shareable experiences. You want to be able to get your customers and stuff to have something. Like, he used the example of, it was Your World and Barack's Refined. So he shared it with, his team came up with it, and they shared it to all their study abroad, because he used a study abroad example, and all his customers put it on social media. Some had it on t-shirts, some had it on papers, and it still is common today. And this was 4 years ago. And so they're able to share it, to get it out in the media, to get college students to like share what they're doing, and to get other people involved in study abroad. And then the last one is return on your investment. So after sharing and creating that, would it be a hashtag, I think? They got investments by getting more people to be involved in their company, which was ISE, I think it was. Yeah, IES, I lied, IES. So now I'm going to share an example of what I did a few years ago to utilize and share as an example. So for the 5 must-haves, a few years ago we did a Torch Club community dinner. Is like non-profit and stuff, so it was a donation kind of dinner. So we utilized our physical location by telling people that the dinner is going to be at the youth center, which is where it was a few years ago. And so we put all these different flyers out about saying it was going to be at the youth center, and anybody's welcome, and you could just get dinner, and people would be talking throughout the whole thing, some shows, and then just donate. So then the second one is to build and maintain a website. We have a website for the center that it was at, so we just kept posting posts and all these different informational things to try to update it so people will know what day it is, what time it is, what we're going to do, why we're doing this. And it was for St. Jude's Research Hospital. So we maintain the website to get people to keep coming, and for the people who do use the website, for them to know all the information. And then the third is offer a way to speak to someone. We went around to the parents that were coming here to drop off their kids and stuff, and we talked about it, and we got the staff at the center to talk about it in person, and then we would call other businesses, and we tried contacting the media to see if they could do a show or something on it. So we did that to talk to people, speak to people about what the donation dinner was for St. Jude's. And then the fourth is be found by your target markets. We primarily targeted parents who had kids involved in the youth center. So they would be able to bring their kids, have some food, donate, and then we would have shows for the kids also. Like we had talent shows, singing, all that stuff. So we targeted the parents because we knew they had the money also. And then fifth is engage customers within one community. Since the community that we used was the youth center, and that's where they had over 100 people participating in the youth center, we also contacted the teen center, who was connected with them. So we had contacted both of those, and that's how we engaged the customers into coming to the dinner. We raised a lot of money, though, for St. Jude's Research Hospital, so we did that. So for the 3 factors, I said priorities for the donation dinner for St. Jude's. We got our target markets, which was for the people, the parents, to give the money, because we know kids won't have money. So we targeted the parents, and we got them to come. So then we shared the experiences. People were taking photos, and we had a newspaper article about our dinner and how much we raised, and we shared all of it on the website and all the social media for the Youth and Teen Center. And then in return, we ended up being able to donate over, I think, $200 for the event. And so we had the return was being able to give that money to them, so to help them with the cancer, and having a warm feeling that our club had done something to help the community, in our community and other communities, to make a difference to the world. Thank you, and that's about all of it.